Welcome to the yoga method. Today's practice is a mobility strength flow. So we are going to improve our mobility and at the same time definitely build strength. No equipment needed. Just come and join me on your mat as soon as you're ready. So starting in 4-point kneeling, stacking shoulders and wrists, please. I'm just going to turn on a timer so I don't keep you going too long. So shoulders and wrist stacking, hips and knees stacking. Pressing into the earth, and then just move through your happy cat as you breathe in. Snap, crackle, pop, and then exhale into flexion, please. So breath in to open front body, and breath out to really expand back body. Let's just do one more of these. Beautifully done. And then we'll neutralize, but we'll continue to really press into the earth, thinking angry cat between the shoulder blades. And then I'd like for you just to hover your knees a millimeter off the floor. So from here, it's a breath in to stay hovering, and a breath out to lightly tap the floor. Variation 2, we will begin by adding on a little bit of movement through our one leg. So it's going to look like this. We're going to lift and then extend through one leg and gently come in and land. So a little hover, a little lengthening through the right leg. Draw the leg back in, land your toes, land your knees. So float, lengthen through your left leg, land, and kiss the floor again. So finding the right option for you. And also equally important, taking a break anytime you need. So we're focusing on technique, alignment, a little hip mobility as we build core strength, shoulder strength. Let's do one more, please. So float. Oh, I told my first fib of the day. We have to do one more because we started on that leg. So press pause, lengthen through your right, draw it in, and release. Knees wide, big toes together, taking a moment in child's pose. And please just roll dynamically through your thoracic spine. So you'll tilt one shoulder up and then through the other way. So just a gentle rock, a gentle sway. One more each way. Beautifully done. We'll rise up onto our knees. We'll step our right leg forward. We'll square the pelvis and we'll reach the hands here. So variation 1, ear, shoulder, hip, knee in one line. Pelvic floor is on, core is on. Take a breath in to pause and stay. And then I'd like you just to lengthen and move into your hamstring stretch. So just move with your breath. So inhale here and exhale to lengthen. Variation 2, as you come forward, you're going to pick up just a millimeter. Then you'll land and you'll lengthen. So moving into dynamic strengthening and dynamic lengthening. Full breath in, pause and hold. Full breath out. Breathe in, level pelvis, core is on. And when we go to lift, we want to really engage through our left glute. These are tricky little movements, aren't they? One more, please, or at least I think they're a little bit difficult. This will be our last one, so let's stay here with our hamstring stretch and ground through our hands. And then just roll in and out through your toe. That would be a foot, through your ankle. Creating a little bit of a neural sensation. Just one more rock each way. And then we'll bring that right hand to the inside as we swing that leg around. So bring left leg forward. Please check hip and knee alignment, ear, shoulder, and hip alignment. And then reaching hands forward. Feel your shoulders, feel your breath. Take a breath in together. So full breath in. Pause and hold, and then as far as your body will allow you to go into your hamstring. Little shift forward as we breathe in, and then lengthening, please. This is variation 1. Variation 2, do you remember? You're going to stack, and then shift, land, and lengthen. So forward we come into a static lunge, and then land and lengthen. Let's do 4 more. So shoulders over hips, belly strong, right glute is on, and then lengthen. 3 to go. We're almost there. Last 2 plays. So ground stack, and then pause and hold. Land, lengthen. 1 more. Belly strong, right glute on. And let's just stay here. Find your breath and then land your hands. And that little roll in and out through the ankle, through the entire leg. So it looks like the ankle's doing the movement, but it's coming from your hip joint. So your whole left leg is internally and externally rotating. 1 more, please. Beautifully done. Let's swing that leg around. Coming back to that 4-point kneeling position. But this time, we're going to start in a push-up position. So variation 1. All I'd like for you to do is just inhale to lengthen, and then exhale to land. Okay? So this is just the movement pattern that you're going to work with. And when you need a breather, you'll just land, sit back, and take a little shake, a little reprieve. Variation 2, we're coming up, but we're going to step our feet really wide, or maybe I'm not. If it's slippery, I think I'll be okay like that. So from here, we're going to touch down, lengthen and lift. And then we're going to add just 1 more little piece to this puzzle. So as you hit the top of the movement, I'd like you to do just a halfway push-up. So pause and land, lift, and then shift. It's a little bit windy today. A very big branch just fell down not too far away. So once again, the moment you feel like you're losing control or compromising your position, you're going to take a break. So a little touch the floor, lift, be powerful, chin lifted. And what we're trying to avoid is coming too deep, because that just puts so much strain on our rotator cuff tendons, which is something we definitely don't want. So come halfway. Let's do 1 more. So lift, little baby push-up, rise, land, and then sit back. A little shake through your arms. Just crisscross them and let the blood just flood into those muscles that have been working so hard. From there, beautiful crew, we're coming into a side lying position. We're going to bring shoulder and elbow to stack underneath our right shoulder. So shoulder, elbow stacking, thumb is up. And then 1 beautiful, strong, straight line through your shoulder, hip, and heel. Hand to your hip. And then I'd like you just to lift here. So lift and hold. Roll the shoulder open. Really dynamically engage core and glutes. From here, option 2. We're doing that external rotation through the top hip. And the bottom glute med, glute min, working really dynamically to hold us stable. So anytime, once again, we start to compromise or fatigue, we're just going to take a breather. Last 2. 1 more time. If you can, stay here and hold this knee open. Now with your left foot, just lift it and then let it touch your right toes. Little lift and land. So statically holding while we still introduce a little bit of dynamic movement to this position. There's 4 more. 3 to go. Oh, glutes are cooking, or they're cooked, I'm not sure which. 1 more, please, 1 more. And then let everything relax down. Bottom arm reaches forward, legs go long. Top hand behind your head. And from here, just slide your bottom leg in to give you a little bit more support. The bottom arm is what anchors us and supports us. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to lift by using your obliques and by using this arm. So variation 1, we are just going to move elbow towards the knee. So dynamically strengthening, but also really working our spinal mobility and our hip range of motion. Variation 2, we are adding both legs into this equation. So lengthening, exhaling, inhaling. Last 4 as you are. Last 3. Last 2. One more time. Pause, hold, and land. Once you've landed, please bring your right shin across the long edge of your mat and just check that you've got a 90-degree knee bend through the back. Please reach to the earth with your right hand and then take your left hand out to the side just for a breath. So breathe in, and then I want you to reach across the line of the body before you come back up again. Just do 2 more of these dynamic movements. And on this last one, I'd like for you to stay and hold. So just let the body relax momentarily, flooding breath in. For 2. 1 more full breath in and out. We'll gently ease our way up and out of this shape. We're coming into reverse tabletop with fingers turned out. Option 1, broaden your collarbones, lift through your heart space. And variation 2, we're just lifting up and down through the pelvis as far as our body will allow. So what I want you to think about is you're grounding dynamically into your hands and feet. You're using your hamstrings, your glutes, and your back extensors to propel you skywards. But through your shoulders, collarbones are so broad. And you continue to deliberately slide your shoulder blades away from your ears. Just 4 more. Breathe in. Slowly descend. Breathe in. 2 to go. 1 more, please. And then when you're ready, ease your way down. Give the legs a little shake, a little reprieve. Hands still behind you once again. And then I'd like for you just to do an alternating leg lift through your right and your left leg. So once again, that idea of really lengthening through the torso, keeping the belly super strong, and dynamically strengthening our quadriceps, our hip flexors, and our core while we work on our hip mobility. Breathe in, breathe out. 4 more if you're okay. Rest anytime you need. 2 to go. 1 more. And relax. Give the legs a shake. Reach high for a breath in. And then just ease yourself out. Soften through the places and the spaces that are holding a bit of tension. And just easing any stagnation in the body out with the breath and the stretch. I'd like for you to take just 1 more breath, please. And when you're ready, you'll lift through your heart space. We'll swing around to the other side. And this sequence started in a side plank. So we're stacking shoulder and elbow. And I'd like your thumb to the ceiling. And then shoulder, hip, heel in one line. We're pressing down in order to really activate the stabilizers before lifting through the pelvis. Now, variation 1, holding this position is really challenging. So maybe you hold for 5 seconds and rest. Variation 2, we're statically holding. And then we're adding a little bit of dynamic movement through the top hip. So inhaling to open, exhaling to close. So bottom glutes working statically, holding us stable. Top glute, mid, and all those external rotators of the hips working dynamically for 3 more. For 2, rest anytime you need. 1 more, pause and hold. And then just float your toes, release your toes. Breath in, breath out. So it may be your shoulder stabilizers that fatigue first, or your core. Rest the moment you feel like you're no longer holding. Great alignment or great awareness. Last two. One more time. Pause and hold before we release everything down. Bottom arm is coming out front. Bottom leg is going to bend to 90 degrees. I'm just laying on a microphone. And when you're ready, top arm is behind your head. So we're using the bottom arm to lift us at the same time that we're accessing our obliques. So when you're ready, it's an exhale and an inhale to lengthen. So elbow and knee might not ever meet. It doesn't matter. We're just moving through the range of motion we can. And we're just completing the number of repetitions that we can. Variation 2, do you remember? It's an exhale with both knees and an inhale to lengthen. Knee and elbow towards each other. Gently land and pause. So every repetition, dynamically strengthening. But we're also working lateral flexion through the spine, hip flexion, hip extension through the pelvis. Last 4 repetitions. Last 3 repetitions. Last 2. So close. One more time. Pause and hold before gently releasing. Come up. Bring your left leg in front. Shin parallel to the long edge of your mat. Bring your right leg back, and then please land through your left hand. Take a breath in, and on your exhalation, reaching across and back. We rise, we reach, we look maybe to our right, and then we're coming across the line of the body and descending. Let's do 2 more with movement. One more time, and on this last one, we pause and we hold, just giving ourselves a little momentary reprieve. Flooding breath into your right side body. Most of us will be feeling through the right hip as well. Take 3 more breaths. For 2. One more goodbye breath in and out. On the in-breath, please reach, rise all the way back up before releasing your hands. One last time with our lunges and with our push-ups. So we're taking our left leg forward. We're coming up tall. I might turn this way. It'll be much easier for you to see. My apologies. And then pausing to take a breath in, statically staying. And then the dynamic movement happens on the out breath. So variation 1, we're just in this low lunge. It's still a dynamic movement. Variation 2, maybe we reach and hover just a millimeter off the floor before landing and lengthening again. There's 4 more repetitions. Smiling at the same time that you do this is considered the most advanced option, right? Pelvis level, shoulders level. Exhale, lightly land, control it. Last 3. Stack shoulders over hips, engage core and left glute. Gently land and reach. Last 2. One more time, please, as far as it feels right for you. And as we land and lengthen, please leave the arms lifted this time if you can, but if it doesn't feel right, ground the fingertips to the earth. Can you still move through your internal and external rotation? Your core is stabilizing you. For 2. And for 1. Gently release. Take a moment to bring the right hand to the inside. Swing around. Hands shoulder distance. Knees a little bit wider. And just a loving reminder, variation 1, we inhale to the tips of our toes. And on the exhalation, we gently land. A little lift to the tips of our toes. Exhaling to land. Rest anytime you need. Variation 3, we lift to the tips of the toes. Complete a mini push-up and then gently land. So inhale, exhale, inhaling. However many repetitions, whatever breath pattern feels right for you, I'm going to encourage you to aim for 4 more if you can. Even if it's just a micro push-up, it's still a push-up. Last 2. One more time, straight and strong from head to heel, belly strong, bum strong. And then everything releases. Knees wide, big toes together. Take a moment in your child's pose. Before we rise, one last time. And bring our left leg forward. So finding that alignment between hip and knee, ear, shoulder, hip, stacking. We breathe in, staying grounded for variation 1, and then send us into a hamstring stretch on the out breath. Come up as we breathe in. Just take your time as you lengthen. Variation 2, that little tiny hover that looks like nothing from the outside, but we are working the muscles in what's called their inner range. And it's often where the weakness still lies in the body, because they're not normal ranges that we explore, but they are critical ranges of motion that we really want to identify and try and bring more strength into those areas. Breathe in, little hover and lift, land, exhale. I do believe we only have 3 more, so gently land. Reach, pause, and hold. Last 2. So much harder than they look. And one more. Last one's the best one. And then as we shift back into our hamstring, please feel free to land your hands. If you feel like you could dynamically just hold the arms back as you work through your external, internal rotation for 3 more. Last 2. 1 more. We did it. Release your hands forward. Bring your hand to the inside. Release your legs back. And please just take a seat into Sukhasana. Hands landing, hearts lifting, eyes closing. Take 1 deep breath in. And when you are ready, ground into your left hand, reach with your right, take that gentle side bend. So inhale to roll open, and then exhale to gently roll down any amount. Inhale to spiral your way open. Let's do 2 more. 1 more time, we reach, pause, and hold before rising all the way up and taking a gentle twist. Left hand catching right knee, right hand behind you for support, gazing over your right shoulder for 3 breaths. For 2. And for 1. Return your eyes, return your shoulders. Take your feet wide as you move through external and internal rotation. Just for a moment, loosening off any tension that might be remaining in the pelvis, in the hips. This is your last one. And then let's just gently come back to Sukhasana. It will be your right leg in front of your left. No, it won't. It's your left leg in front of your right. Grounding into your right hand, lifting through your left, taking that gentle side bend. Please firmly glue your left hip down by pressing into your right hand. And on your in-breath, spiral your way open. And on your exhalation, gently close as far as you wish. Does one side feel stickier than the other? So we're not judging it, we're just noticing it. And sometimes sticky sides need a little bit more time to open up, to free up. There's 2 more of these. So full breath in to roll us open. Full breath out to close us down. And on this last one, I'd love for you to stay and breathe, gazing to the floor or the palm of your hand. And on your next in-breath, reach yourselves up and let's turn to look over our left shoulder. Right hand catching left knee, left hand acting like a second spine. Grow tall on the in-breath. Gently revolve on the out-breath. Let's take 2 more. One more breath, please. Before returning your eyes on the inhalation, gently releasing your twist on the exhalation. Bringing our hands to our hearts, closing down our eyes. Celebrating our bodies as we cultivate mobility and build strength. 1 repetition at a time, 1 breath at a time. Taking 1 more breath together before closing our class with a bow. Beautiful crew, thank you so much for joining me and Sky for our mobility and strength practice. I hope you enjoyed it, and please leave me a comment anytime if there's something that you wish to see on the Yoga Method channel. From my heart to yours, have a beautiful day.